All right, guys. Another very, very important day in Fall River. Going to benefit a lot of people, and that's what we're trying to do, make sure people's lives are better. First of all, I want to thank everybody for being here today, and I want to acknowledge a few of our elected officials. In the back of the room is Maureen from Senator Roderick's office, Tyler from Representative Fiola's office, and Skylar from Representative Schmidt's office. Joining us in person up here, we have Representative Alan Sylvia. We have City Councilor Linda Pereira. And I think that's everybody that's, and obviously he'll be speaking a little bit. Former City Councilor Trotley is also with us today. And we're here today specifically, and also just walking in right now is State Representative Carol Fiola, also joining us. She'll be getting detention for being a minute late, half a minute late. It's my old job, We're here to celebrate a couple of great initiatives with our Office of Veteran Services that will make life better for the veterans of Fall River, Mass. As nearly everyone in the room knows, Fall River has a rich history of supporting and celebrating our veterans. Our entire waterfront shows this, from the monuments at the Veterans Memorial Bicentennial Park to the battleship under the Braga Bridge, which is named after a Fall River soldier who died in the Pearl Harbor attacks. More than any monuments or dedication, our strength in supporting veterans comes from the groups and individuals like those joining us in the room today. We're lucky to have a huge coalition of veteran service organizations, volunteers, and veteran leaders themselves who make sure that our veteran community gets the services and recognition they need. That is why I'm excited about the creation of the Veterans Advisory Committee and the distribution of funding to 18 specific veterans groups. These two initiatives will support our shared goal of making life better for our veterans. I want to thank the 10 appointed members of the VAC who stepped up to join this group, which has been a long time in the making. The group will work with us to promote good understanding and relationships between our veterans organizations, veterans, their families, our administration, and the community. Many of these members are involved in the same veterans organizations who received the boost in funding from the $100,000 we are allocating from Veterans Service Office. All service organizations who currently serve Fall River veterans were included in this distribution. And we're here today at the Corky Row Club, which is the home of our Veterans Kitchen, and so I'll introduce her because probably nobody in the room knows her, Dawn Trahan. She's a very quiet, timid young lady, and I just want everyone to know that because I wrestled with her when she was 17, and she's really mellowed out with age, so you know that. Their volunteer-led team has served countless meals to our veterans community, even turning to delivery or grab and go during the worst days of the pandemic, so the veterans in need could enjoy hot, home-cooked meals. These funds are going right back into the community and being used for a variety of projects, programs, and events to serve our veterans population. And it's an honor for me to be able to give these groups a boost after a tricky few years of working through fundraising, all the time battling COVID. With that, I want to introduce one other person who has been instrumental in putting this Veterans Advisory Committee together, City Administrator Seth Aiken, who is also a veteran. And with that, I want to introduce the Director of Veteran Services, Michaela Brito. And she's been instrumental in getting this off the ground and getting this funding into the hands of these well-deserving organizations. And I want to thank Michaela.
I'm really honored and thrilled that I've been able to spearhead with Seth allowing to get this Veterans Advisory Committee together. I'm not cutting out the War Council. I'm just reaching out to other people and organizations within the community that are very instrumental and stakeholders within the veterans area. Representative Sylvia is going to be on the committee along with our city councilor, Linda Pereira, city administrator Seth Aiken, the battleship with Megan Rathburn, and several others who are in this room today. As far as distributing the $100,000, it's very, very needed within all of our different veterans organizations. Whether you have 3 people, 20 people, or 500 people within your organization, each organization is going to be getting the exact same amount of money. So again, I really appreciate the fact working with the mayor's office and getting this initiative up on the ground and running. And with that being said, I'm going to introduce Bob Dinan, the commander of Fall River War Veterans Council.
On behalf of the Fall River Veterans War Council and affiliated veterans organization, I wanted to welcome you to the Fall River War Veterans Headquarters for our kitchen and other organizations. I want to thank you to the kitchen director, Dawn Trahan, and her staff for preparing us all for today's meeting. It has been a busy year for the Fall River Veterans War Council, with a lot of changes taking place. Some we may not agree with, but the veterans will continue to serve and survive, and are confident that going forward, any differences of opinion or processes will be worked out for everyone. But there have been very positive actions on behalf of the city and the City Veterans Council, and we are very pleased about. First and foremost, we have Mayor Paul Coogan, who has demonstrated his care and commitment to Fall River veterans, not just because he donates to our kitchen and other causes, but because he actually shows up, sits down, and shares a meal with us and communicates with us. The Fall River War Council asked for a Veterans Advisory Board, and he listened and took action. The end result is that veterans now have a sounding board and another voice in the city government. We believe this will go a long way in benefiting not only the city veterans, but the city as a whole. Thank you, Mayor Coogan, for your commitment and communication and supporting Fall River veterans community. It's no secret that for Fall River War Veterans Council disappointed about not receiving Chapter 40 funds. But again, Mayor Coogan listened to his staff, City Administrator Akins, and VSO Brito found a way to secure funds for not only the member organizations, but our Fall River War Veterans Council, but our brother and sister affiliated veterans service organizations that have been active in Fall River. Chapter 40 funds traditionally have been $10,000, but Mayor Coogan has earmarked $100,000 for our organization. Mr. Mayor and your staff, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. In closing, I want to acknowledge a couple of veteran council members who have asked for city to establish a city advisory board and to obtain funds for veteran organization. That is, of course, our city councilor, Linda Pereira, attorney Renee Brown, and our veterans former commander and board advisor, Bill Damaris.
All right, Bill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Thank you, Mr. Mayor, wherever he is. Thank you again, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it. Thank you.
As you can tell, Bob is my new campaign manager, so we'll be kicking off in a moment. I do want to let the former veterans agent, or ran Pine Street for us, the city councilor, I do want to let a couple of people say a few words. Trotley.
Thank you for having me for today, and I'm proud to be here to help. I've always been able to, gladly serve the veteran community in Fall River way before I ever became a city councilor, and obviously I'll continue to serve after city council. So I have anything that the veteran board needs me to be or do, I'm at their service. And I look at this as an opportunity personally. It was something we talked about a while ago. I looked at this as an opportunity not just for the support of our local Fall River veterans, but just to see what's out there, how we can also be supportive to our veteran communities on the state and even at a higher level. There's plenty of legislation and things like that, and veterans in need all over the city and all over the state that could use a unifying body where people in Fall River can say what they need to say and support what they need to support to help all veterans. That's the vision that I had when I first was talking about this. But to also have a unifying central area where all the organizations in Fall River can come together to have a seat at the table, and to talk about what we need to do when it comes, not just when it comes to memorial things, but also how to best support the veterans in the city that don't even know some of the services that we have. I think that's a very important unifying situation that we can all work together to accomplish. So to all the people that were involved in putting this together, I think everyone deserves a round of applause for that in general, but also just to reach out to the new vets that are out there too. I think that's a really important piece right now. There are veterans right now younger than me. I'm 42. So, to find some of those other veterans out there, they're in their 30s and 20s, and let them know that Fall River is here for them too. I think that's a very important piece to this. So with that, I yield, and I will give the floor to my city councilor, Linda Pereira.
Nice. It's been great to be here, to be part of this. When I told the mayor we need an advisory board, people need to feel that their voices are being heard. But I've got to tell you, I've never been to a veterans meeting of any sort that we don't stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance. So could you please do that for me? There's one there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. It means a lot to me that we do that. Kids should do that every day at school. And I went to a grand opening today. Will Flanagan and some people opened up a dispensary. And I know a lot of veterans that use medical marijuana to assist with illnesses that they have or PTSD. So I want you to know that I've asked him if he can give veteran discounts, because no dispensary gives you discounts. So as always, I look to try to do as much as I can for the veterans. So let's wait to hear from him, and if you hear him on the radio, let's all call him, razz him, and let's get another discount for us. But this is great to be here, and I thank you all very much for attending.
I also have one more person I'd like to say a few words. He's a member of the committee. He's a veteran, State Representative Alan Sylvia.
Thank you, Mayor. And, it's of course an honor to be here and to be a part of this committee, and a part of this community that is always there to focus on veterans and their needs. My phone is speaking because I am actually in session. And we're going to have a roll call, I know, in a minute, but it's very important that we gather like this. Something like this, a committee to focus on veterans' needs should have happened a long time ago. I credit Linda Pereira and, of course, Mayor Coogan for actually doing this. I think it'll be more unified, and we'll get a number of things done that we have talked about over the years. So thank you all also for being here. Thanks.
We're remiss in just mentioning how appropriate today we are taking up a complete, another Veterans Bill today. That's going to be very helpful in many respects, so I just want to share that.
Thanks, Representative Fiola, thank you. That concludes today's ceremony. We appreciate everyone for coming out, and we'll be announcing the date for the first meeting shortly, and we'll see if we can get this rolling. Thanks, everybody.